Okay, I'm making a coffee mug. So the first thing I need to do is roll out a slab. Normally I would do this standing, but I'm trying to stay in the camera. So I have some slab measuring sticks on the side, and I have a little rolling dowel. Usually I would like to use a rolling pin, but I'm using a little dowel instead today. Or a needle tool and just pop that air pocket. And again, I'm flipping it. My goal is to make it the same size as this piece of paper, and I'll be giving everybody a piece of paper like this. It's 12 inches by 5 inches and the same thickness of my slab sticks. You have two options on slab sticks. If you feel like your craftsmanship is pretty good, you can go with 1/4 inch thick slab sticks. If you feel like you really struggle on getting things sticking together and they kind of flop around a lot, you might want to go with 3/8 of an inch on your slab sticks. I'm getting another air pocket. I should have wedged my clay up a little better. I'm going to focus on these slab sticks. When I'm making my coffee mug, I don't want one wall thicker than the other wall. I really want uniform, consistent thickness in my walls. We've talked earlier about how thick walls dry slower than thin walls. Um, it is really important that I stamp first and then I cut. So I stamp first and then cut. But I am just going to trace out where I'm stamping. Just so that I have an idea of where I'm stamping. So I didn't cut it, I just traced it where I'm stamping. Now I'm stamping. Since I have some extra room over here, I'm going to practice stamping in this little bit of extra room first to get to know my stamp a little bit. A lot of you made tiles earlier, but how do I want my stamp to go? You can use one stamp or more than one stamp that you made. Think about how that fits together. Okay. And once you start stamping, you kind of just have to go with it. And you also don't want to stamp so deep that you accidentally poke through your slab. That's really important as well. Okay, so the next part is where you take your paper template and you trace and cut around. Do your best to make as straight of a line as possible. And then you can go away. And this is probably where you'll be on day one, hopefully. You will need to gently lift it up. Hopefully you did not leave it on a wood table. Treat it kind of like a baby. And form it into a cylinder shape. When you form it into a cylinder shape, if you have about an inch overlap, and some kids are like, what's an inch? An inch is about this much of your thumb. So about an inch overlapping, okay, like this. So for this next part, we're going to cut. You have to find something to cut it with. So it could be a knife like this, could be an X-Acto knife. I wouldn't do this. This is probably not good enough. You want kind of a sharper knife, and you're cutting at an angle. So let me move this over here so you can see the angle. You are cutting at an angle, and it's straight down. This works best if you stand up. So I am going to stand up. That way I can guide it straight down. Okay, this is a little bit tricky. Why did we cut it at an angle? We want to increase our surface area. So this is wider than this. So if you look here, hold on. This right here is not as much of an attachment as this right over here. So we want to increase our surface area. And now we have to score. And I'm going to zip it together. And my little wood tool. Smooth it out behind. And weld it in front. Next, I have to decide which is my top and my bottom. So I actually like this side for my top. So this side is going to be my bottom. So for this, hope you guys can see me. It's really important that I score inside here, on the inside. So I'm kind of getting rid of this angle right here. And then I like, because of the seam right here, I like this side to be kind of flat. So here's kind of the trick. So I make a triangle. This is where my seam is. I make a triangle with my hands and I close it up. So I make that triangle and I'm slowly closing it in. This part is coming in while these stay up. So these are raised. Now these then become your feet. And sometimes you have a little hole in here. Well, coffee's going to go through that now, isn't it? So then I like to make a little button. I'm going to add a little water. My clay's kind of wet. So kneading up a little water. See where I can do this. I think I want to press it right here. Then I have a little button that will go right there. Okay, smoothing that right there. So there you have this. Okay, there I have a little bit of a shadow in there. Just gonna blend that in. Okay, so I'm gonna let that be, and I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in a bag for the next day. Very careful.